Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by His Excellency Calvin St. Just. He's going to be giving us some important details about St. Kitts and Nevis. I am Timitayo Olumofe. His Excellency Calvin St. Just, it's a pleasure to have you with us here rather. And this is your second official visit here with us in Nigeria. And then why is Nigeria a key focus for your outreach, one, and what brings you to Lagos at this exciting time?
Well, first off, let me start with bringing greetings from the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Terence Jew. It is an exciting time to be here in Nigeria the second time, as you mentioned. The first time I came to Nigeria, actually the Prime Minister made an inaugural visit, and that was earlier this year, March 2025, at the Afri-Caribbean Investment Summit. We both delivered various speeches at that point. Now, this time is quite a monumentous occasion, because at the Citizenship Investment Unit in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary of becoming a statutory body. And what does that mean? It means that our Citizenship by Investment program now functions with a high degree of autonomy, independence, and efficiency. And that gives us the opportunity to be agile and really support our investors. And more paramount specifically to Lagos is the fact that Lagos is the hub of the financial innovation district of Nigeria. And what we see is a number of investors and financiers come to Nigeria as the sort of home to entrepreneurship, the aspect of investment, and truly an integration of one becoming a premier individual. And so it is critical that we celebrate our first 1-year anniversary, which took place last year in October 2024. And so this year, in October 2025, made it 1 year that we became a statutory corporation. And we wanted to make sure that that milestone was also celebrated here in Nigeria.
Right, fair enough. Now, could you share a bit about yourself and St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment?
Sure, just a little bit about my background. So I have been in the financial industry over 25 years, coming off of Wall Street, where I held various senior executive roles at some very reputable companies, such as I was a chief operating officer in the financial wellness wealth management of Morgan Stanley, and I held various positions at JP Morgan, as well as some of the larger asset management firms as well. And further to that, even held positions in the telecommunication, where I was the head of the Comcast NBC social care division. And prior to that, I should say, in collaboration with those, I was also the special envoy for St. Kitts and Nevis for investment and development and international business relations. And, my career on Wall Street and the financial arena has really provided me the skill set and the talent and the tenacity to sit as the executive chairman for our Citizenship by Investment program. Because what I learned from the private sector is around speed, service, and excellence. And our programs are built on those foundations. I think that is key. St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment program was the first. We created this industry, this investment migration industry, and since 1984. And many people may not be aware that this tiny Caribbean island, in the Western Hemisphere, was the one who architected this major industry of investment migration, where we've seen a number of developed countries use it, whether it's Malta, Portugal, and other countries. Even now we see the United States has also begun into that industry. And so it was critical for us to ensure that we remain a number one in this space, because you can be the first. And as you know, being the first in 4 decades and being 40 plus years old, you can't expect to do the same thing and get something different. And so we continue to innovate our program. We begin using technology advancement in terms of even from an AI perspective, and making sure our program continue to be ranked number one in this space.
The St. Kitts and Nevis program is described as the first and the finest. What makes St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship program so well regarded on the global stage?
It's a really great question. You know, when we say we're the first, it is actually a fact. We were the first to create this citizenship investment or investment migration industry 40 years ago. And the founding fathers really had a foresight of looking at investors, looking at entrepreneurs, individuals who wish to have that plan B, and give them that opportunity for their future security, and also for their generation, their children, and also protecting their wealth. And so we were truly the first. Having established this, many have repeated and have come on board using the foundation of what St. Kitts and Nevis has done in terms of building a CBI program that offers a second citizenship. Then there's the aspect of the finest. You know, it's the concept of finest is words, but then you need results, and you need to ensure that you continue to fine-tune yourself. And when we say we are the finest, is that the finest in that what we do with our processing time, how we innovate with making sure that we leverage, as I said, technology. We've digitized this program. We've digitized the way we operate. And also what we have done in terms of making sure the finest is around our enhanced due diligence process. So for every application or every applicant who is interested in our program, they undergo a rigor due diligence and vetting process. And people ask, why do you put someone under that extreme due diligence, that extreme vetting process? It is because we wish to make sure we preserve the integrity of the program. We protect the borders of our countries, our nation, but also we protect the borders of our international partners. The EU has given us a privilege to have the mobility into their borders. And we want to make sure that we are respectful and we abide by the EU regulations. We abide by, the agreements, and we make sure that there's a continuous collaboration. And similarly for the UK and the US. And so these are things that we continually do to make sure that we fine tune, and making sure that when we say we define the finest that we are, but not only the words that we say, we have been ranked number one by the Citizenship by Investment Index for 5 times in the last 5 years. Number one for 5 in the last 5 years. And that took a lot of grit to be able to have been the oldest, or is the oldest, and still being ranked number one. The International Monetary Fund also noted this year about the reforms that St. Kitts and Nevis did in streamlining their program. So again, it's not just we're saying we're the finest, but international prestigious institutions are validating those.
Many Nigerian investors are exploring international diversification. How can St. Kitts and Nevis serve as a valuable partner in that journey?
Absolutely. So what we see is, as you noted, a number of Nigerians are looking for a level of stability and assurance and trust. And what St. Kitts offer is we have a stable political environment, and that has been for legacy decades. We also have a very robust and enriched financial and banking system. Our Eastern Caribbean dollar is pegged to the United States at 2.7, and that has been pegged since in the 1970s. So you could understand the bench strength of our Eastern Caribbean dollar. The other piece that we hear from our Nigerian investors is really a place that they can call home. And, this is really where we're seeing a partnership and an interest in our citizenship by investment program. And then the other piece is that our program is quite flexible. It offers in those savvy investors the opportunity to have real estate property that can generate income, whether they're there at in St. Kitts and Nevis or actually back here in Nigeria. They will be assured that the purchase of a real estate in a pathway to get citizenship can in of itself generate additional income for them as well.
Right. Now, if someone is interested in investing in St. Kitts and Nevis for citizenship, what are the options that people can explore?
Absolutely. The first thing I tell individuals who are interested in citizenship is that there are many citizenship programs around the world. But when you think of a citizenship program, you also want to make sure you think of one that has been in the industry for a very long time, because it's sustainability. And we have been through all the volatility there is in today's world. So what we have done, we have created 4 major pathways towards citizenship. The first is what we call the Sustainable Island State Contribution. And what that is that allows the investor to contribute directly into our national development, whether it's for building out infrastructure, maybe for various community development, social structure, that those investment goes directly into those various programs. And that is the most fast and efficient way. And we know a number of our Nigerian investors like that speed and like the opportunity to have that impactful investment. The second is what we call the public benefit option. And that is actually a subset of our Sustainable Island State Contribution. What we heard across the globe was that our investors appreciate the fact that they can make the contribution and it goes into our national development and it actually builds out our social structure and uplift our citizens. But they had a personal benefit, or perhaps what we heard is that they would like their investment to go into various specific national or capital projects that they have a passion about. So we have created what's called the public benefit option sector option for citizenship, and that allows investors to invest into a number of sectors that they have passion for. Right now we have 5. The first is our education aspect, and that is the aspect of building a high school for St. Kitts and Nevis. Our young leaders of tomorrow, we want to make sure that they get a state-of-the-art high school. So that's one. The second is around affordable housing. It is important that the lives of our citizens and our new citizens can have an integration. And so we know a number of investors said, listen, I have done very well, but I came from a certain part in life and I want to make sure that that contribution can uplift the citizens. And so we have that option where individual can invest in affordable housing. The third is around our tourism expansion, which is we really understand that tourism is a key for our nation. And so we've opened an option for our airport expansion and to ensure that there's a feasibility study that's going to be completed as we expand. And then the last two are critical. One is more around our water security that we have to ensure that we have those areas covered so we can make sure things are done appropriately. So, we have these sectors. And then lastly, I'll say, which is critical, is we are in the process of building a creative arts center. We have so many creative artists, individuals who want to use their talent. And so we know a number of investors say they would like to uplift it. And then the last option is really a real estate, as I mentioned. The first one, which is Sustainable Island State, starts at a minimum of $250,000 and gives up the family of 4 that can get their citizenship. The PBO, the public benefit option, we call it PBO, that also starts at 250,000, and right now we're offering up to a family of 4, similar to our Sustainable Island State. And then the last one is real estate for those savvy investors who wish to purchase whether a condominium in the beautiful islands in Kitts and Nevis, you're at the tropical beach and you get in the coconut, or a villa, or perhaps a share in a resort. They have that option as well, and that starts at $325,000. And then the last piece we've realized is individuals from Nigeria want that actual home. They want to get the beautiful, luxurious home. And so we open that option as well. And that starts at a minimum of $600,000 where they can truly have a piece of the rock.
These are mouth-watering options, if you ask me, right? Okay, so fair enough. Which of these options is best suited for Nigerian investors?
It's, all options are available. What I would say, it depends on what the investor is interested in. And so we made it very flexible. As I said, the contribution goes directly, fast, efficient, simply make a contribution into our national development. But then what we've realized, and that's fast and efficient in terms of getting that decision. But what we've also realized is our Nigerian investors, just like our citizens in St. Kitts and Nevis, we believe in values, we believe in family, we believe in making sure that legacy continues. We want to make sure we uplift. And so that's where the public benefit option comes in to support. And then I think what we're also seeing is those savvy investors said, listen, I'm a business individual, I'm on the go. I want to actually have what we call a piece of the rock in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so the real estate option gives them that to really purchase a real estate and get their citizenship while also making some additional income.
Right. All right. So, process can be kind of challenging for some people or for some persons. So I would like you to walk us through what's the process like for someone who wants to apply for citizenship by investment. From St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The process can seem very complex, but it's really simple. So what we say for anyone who's interested in applying, we're in a technology world and we're in a social media world. So we say go to our website, which is the CIU.gov.kn. And an applicant must be at least the age of 18 or older and have good character. And when we talk about good character means no criminal record. That's very important. And that's important because we wish to ensure that we get the right individuals in our program, the individuals who's going to be ambassador for us. And so once they have gone through, they then have the option to select what we call an approved, authorized agent who will help walk them through the process and all the various paperwork. And then once they begin that application process, then there will be a number of information we would request to begin the process of what we call enhanced due diligence, rigor due diligence, because we want to make sure what you say is actually accurate and factual, because it's important. And so every applicant goes through a strong vetting process. We have partnership with our international law agencies. Each applicant goes to and run to the EU and the UN sanction lists. We also ensure that they go through the Interpol process. We also have a number of partnership with international law agencies and international due diligence agencies. So we do a strong rigor. And then once they've completed that, and there's nothing of concern, then the process goes to where the individual will then be awarded their citizenship. And the timeline for that, it's usually between 120 to 180 days. But with our recent implementation of the digital, we're seeing that timeline has actually shrunk. So we're seeing an average of about 120 or less days.
Right. In your view, how does this St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program, how does it stand out from other citizenship programs globally?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that resonates to why I'm here in Lagos in celebrating the fact that we are a statutory body. We're in 2024, I think we were the only CVI program that really transitioned into becoming a statutory corporation. And what that does, it allows us to operate with an agility, independence, but governed by laws. And that's critical. And the other piece, really, why we stand out, and we continually say this, that we were the one who architected the program. We understand the challenges. We were the one who have most recently led the pathway in the creation of what's now being called the Eastern Caribbean Citizenship by Investment Regulate Authority. And we were the one who said we need all these programs in the Caribbean to be internationally regulated at a standard. So we've consistently done it. And then we see ourselves being able to pivot because we see the value of partnering and having those in-depth collaboration conversations with our international partners. We continuously work with the EU, the UK, and the US to understand their risks. We ensure that we have various anti-money laundering and counter-financial terrorist policies to ensure that we can de-risk the program. And we use international standards so that we understand the individual source of wealth, because citizenship is for life. And we understand that citizenship isn't a one-time transaction, nor do we wish for our program to be a one-time transaction. And it is a privilege we offer individuals the opportunity to get this citizenship, which allows them the aspect of preserving their future, but their children's future, but also wealth generation and preservation. St. Kitts and Nevis has no income tax. We have no wealth tax. We have no inheritance tax. And we have no capital gain tax. So you can understand how attractive we are to savvy investors who wish to have their wealth protected. And we have one of the most robust trusts in the world in a smaller sister island called Nevis. So it allows individuals to really hone in on their financial wealth protection. Myself, coming from Wall Street, where you create various complex plans and portfolios for individuals, and they have the opportunity for a plan B that allows them to secure their future, but also to allow them to secure their assets and their wealth future together.
You've spoken extensively over the investment plan for Nigerians investors who are looking out to invest at St. Kitts and Nevis. So is there any opportunity you also have for students who are looking, to gain admission in St. Kitts and Nevis?
So from a student's perspective, what I would say is, we offer the opportunity for individuals, obviously passing the rigor, to study if one chooses to. We have a partnership, as I said, with Nigeria and some of our students, mainly in the nursing sector. So individuals who wish to study, we're afforded that. We also have one of the best veterinarian school internationally, and we get students from around the world. It's so competitive, and so we have the ecosystem to ensure individuals and not just investors, but as you said, future young leaders have that opportunity, that if they so desire to, I would say, test and try the opportunity of studying and getting the intellectual growth in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have those opportunities. And then citizenship obviously provides you that even more ability to live, study, and work into, you have access to the whole of the Eastern Caribbean countries, because we have a Caribbean common market that not only when you get a citizenship, the individual or the children can study and live and work in those areas as well.
Finally, what message would you like to leave for Nigerians considering exploring opportunities in St. Kitts and Nevis?
Absolutely. What I would say is, citizenship is not a one-time transaction. And for our Nigerian investors or Nigerian partners, soon to be family, St. Kitts and Nevis is a trusted and tested partner. We consider ourselves the first, which we are. We consider ourselves the finest in this field of investment-led global partnership. And we offer stability. We offer strong political stability. We offer a strong financial stability. We have transparency. And when we talk about transparency is ensuring that we can demonstrate to the international world our program is robust, it's rigor. And we have a long-standing commitment to integrity and innovation. That's critical. We abide by all the various regulations and rules, our EU partners, with the aspect of having that mobility access. We want to make sure that's clear. We ensure the integrity in the program with our enhanced due diligence processing. So when we talk about building a relationship between Nigeria and St. Kitts, we truly mean it. We've recently signed an agreement, a visa-free agreement between Nigeria and St. Kitts and Nevis. And I think we are the first country outside of the Caribbean region to actually have this monumental. And I actually am the first St. Kitts official to step foot on the grounds today and actually walk into Nigeria without having a visa. And that is official because we continually say we want to build a bridge between Nigeria and the Caribbean. And St. Kitts is not just saying it, we're putting it into action. And so for our Nigerian investors, we truly wish to extend an offer that our Citizenship by Investment program is the first. Our Citizenship by Investment program is the finest, and we continue to make it the strongest and best in the world.
Right. The Twin Island Nation is calling you to come tap into the wealth of opportunities. So don't slack on this. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Calvin St. Just.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
To have a great day.